Now let's move to the next section, and that's 20th notebook. Now you've heard a lot of things about 20th notebook, etc. So there are a lot of things regarding and lot of hype, misconception, misunderstanding, myths regarding 20th notebook, and no one perfectly knows what a 20th notebook is because there is no rule for it. But I would tell you what I did. So what but yeah, the one thing which I would like to tell is 20th notebook is the game changer. So if you make a 20th notebook, if you revise it, it is going to help you a lot in your exam. It will going to it will shoot your rank, it will increase your rank like anything. So what I did, I will tell you for 20th. See, I made a notebook, a separate 200 pages notebook, in which in index I wrote from anatomy till last pediatrics or from first year, second year, third. All right, I wrote all subjects in index, and I gave 10 pages to all subjects. So first there was anatomy, 10 pages for it. Then there was physiology, 10 pages for it. Then there was biochemistry, 10 pages for that, and so on and so forth. So that's how I made that 20th notebook, 200 pages, 10 pages for all subjects. And in that, I used to write those topics which were very commonly asked and which I used to forget a lot. So 20th notebook is a very personalized thing. The things which you keep on forgetting at the day of exam, those things you have to write in your exam, and those things which are commonly asked. I would like to give some example. Let's say pharyngeal arches. It's asked very commonly in exams, and I always used to forget it, make it a mistake. May it be IPCs for that matter, Krebs cycle, or let's say ETC inhibitors. So milestones. So those are the things which I used to forget a lot. If I have read that one day before the exam, then I used to score well in GT. So I realized that if there are certain topics, if I revise it just before exam, the day before the exam, then I would surely go get those topics correct in my exam the next day GT. Or if I don't read those topics, I am more likely to get it wrong. So those are the topics which you should add in your 20th notebook. And those are the topics which I added in my 20th notebook. And once it was added, uh, as soon as I started making the 20th notebook, I used to revise it before every GT. So before giving a GT, the previous day I used to dedicate it for 20th notebook, and I used to read it again and again. So as many GTs I have given, as many times I have revised 20th notebook. So 20th notebook is also very, very important to uh, revise. Even if you have made 20th notebook, but you haven't revised, it will not help. And 20th notebook should be such that you should be able to revise it just before the day of exam, one day before the exam. So it should not be too lengthy. It should be very short, very concise, such that you are able to revise it in a day. Now, the, uh, uh, now what if certain subject has more topics and certain subject has lesser topics? So yeah, it's our own book. You can overlap it. Like for example, let's say if I have more topics in anatomy and biochemistry, which are not getting completed in 10 pages, then you can use the 11th page of physiology or some other subject to write that thing. That's okay. That's flexible because it's ultimately your book only. Let's say there is a certain subject, like let's say psychiatry. It won't be having too much of 20 notebook stuffs. So its 10 pages might not get fully filled, so you can use it. It's not necessary to fill all subjects and make 20th notebook of all subjects. If you feel that in a certain subject, if there is certain topic which you are frequently forgetting and it's commonly asked in exam, and if you revise it one day before exam, it's highly likely to ask in the exam and you are highly likely to get correct. Then you have to add those things in 20th note. Now, what I used to add 20th notebook or how I used to make 20th notebook? For the answer to that is marrow pulse. Yeah, there is an option of bookmarking in Pulse, but those bookmarks we never read and those always stay in the bookmarks only. So whichever poll I used to feel good that yeah, these are summarized in a beautiful tabular format. I used to write down those pearls in my 20th notebook, and that's how I made my 20th notebook. Now, one problem which I faced was there were certain topics which I used to feel that yeah, these are important, but they're not that important to be written in 20th notebook. But they're also not that not important to be left alone and forgotten. They are asked in exam, but not as frequently as 20th notebook stuff. So for that, I made a 21st notebook. So yeah, this is some unique thing. And I made it with that intention, same way 200 pages, 10 pages to each. And I used to add some not so important topics or second priority topics in those notebook. And I decided that after finishing 20th notebook on the last day, if I have time left, then I will read that 21st notebook. That's how I made it. So that's how you can do. Now, there is also a problem which me and my partner during our preparation we face that sometimes we used to feel that some MCQs of Marrow are very good or certain images are very good. You are making an offline notebook. That's how you should making it. That's the best thing. But the disadvantage of that is that you can't get images in that. So for that, we made our WhatsApp group whose name was 20th Notebook, and we added important stuffs in that. So there was a group called 20th Notebook in which we used to add important images, tables, MCQs in that. There were also our own WhatsApp groups like 20th Notebook Images, specifically for images, 20th Notebook Tables, specifically for tables, criteria, etc., for specifically for that. And there was also a WhatsApp group called 21st Notebook for that. All those things we decided that we will revise those MCQs if we get time. So like if there is 1 or 2 days left, if we have completed our 20th notebook, which is most important, then we will probably go on to 21st notebook offline or 20th notebook WhatsApp groups, etc. And those you should be revising. We did revise and it helped us a lot. It helped me a lot. So that's how you can do if for image based stuff. So yeah, so that also answers the question that what to do for image-based question. A lot of people keep on asking it. So this is what you can do. If you find certain images, you can add it in you share that MCQ in your WhatsApp group and keep a separate WhatsApp group for that images only. And apart from that, keep on solving MCQs for image-based question. Yeah, there are a lot of stuffs like vibe, DVT, etc. for image-based stuff. But I feel that you should not take those things for image-based stuff because it will only waste time and add to our notes. Just, just as I said, you should only make your notes once and you should only watch videos once. So if you are taking certain revision course, any form of one shot, rapid revision, etc., 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 BTR, this, that, any form of video source, note source, which will add to your main notes, which will add to your watching videos part, it will waste your time and it will decline your preparation. You should never do that thing. You should only watch video once and keep on revising your main notes again and again and again. So now the question arises, are those things bad? No, those things are not bad. Then when to use it? Who should use it? Who should take BTR? Who should take one shot? Who should take rapid revision? So in your preparation, if you have prepared your subjects a lot of times, you have given your subject wise tests a lot of time, you have reached far in your preparation journey, and then you are constantly finding out that there is a subject which is weak for you, then you can use any form of revision source like BTR or rapid revision or one shot or vibe or DVT, etc. And that too for that particular subject. So if I give example or if I give my story, after I have prepared everything, I found that my anatomy and my surgery is very weak and my CVS of medicine is very weak. So I did my anatomy, surgery and CVS from BTR, nothing else. But that also I watched video once, I made my notes, and then I kept on revising it every single time I used to read the subject. So whenever I used to read anatomy from my main notes, I also used to read anatomy from BT, and that's how it was a part. It became a part of my main notes only. So that's how you have to do. Always you have to revise it again and again. So whichever subject for which you do an extra thing like BTR or anything else, you have to keep on revising it again and again and again. That's how it would be helpful and productive. Otherwise, it's of no use. So that's that thing you which you need to do. Now, there is also a question of first aid, which has been promoted and said by a lot of people. Yeah, it is a very good book. I have read it, I've seen it. It has a lot of mnemonics. But the thing is, should you use first aid or not? The answer is yes, if you need it. There are a lot of subjects in first aid. If those subjects are weak to you, if those subjects you're not done in your main notes are not available, they are not good, you are weak in that subject, then and then only you have to use first aid. And as I have said many times, you also have to revise it again and again and again many times. Then and then only first aid is useful. I will give you example. I did biochemistry from first aid. My main notes were not so good, and I was not satisfied with the notes, and I was a bit weak in biochemistry, and I was not able to score. So that's why I took biochemistry and from first aid, and uh, I did biochemistry from first aid, and I kept on revising. So only one subject I did from first aid. It is very good. It is given very well, and you have to keep on. I revised it again and again. Before the exam, also I read biochemistry from first aid. So I decided that I will do biochemistry from first aid, and then I revised it again and again and again. I am so emphasizing this fact because this is the very most important fact, and people don't realize this. They scatter a lot. They go to a lot of sources, lot of places, lot of books. They do not revise anything, and they are not able to remember or memorize anything. So you should not do that thing. Stick to a source. May it be BTR, may it be first aid, may it be main notes, may it be marrow, whatever. Just stick to it and keep on revising it again and again and again. So these are the things which you need to prepare to crack any entrance exam or for that matter any exam. So yeah.